Yes, I was a journalist. I'm on air, I do one or two things, but I don't really consider it as journalism. I do business, tuko kwa biashara, but I'm using my skills. So I grew from where you are in communication or doing journalism, but then how can you turn it in future to use it as a skill and not employment? Because most of us, when we are here, we are thinking, oh my next employment. But it's good to think like that because you have to begin somewhere. But the purpose of these talks, and I think Susan and Suleiman will attest to this, is really to connect you people and us, the industry. So the industry is not just KTN, NTV, Citizen. There's so much out there. Even from where you are, you can interact quite a lot with various platforms that form the industry, and it doesn't have to be Citizen for you to be like Jeff Koinange, and maybe that is it in your head. The challenge I know, and we speak to many communication, journalism, media students, they want to be like Alex Chamwada today or tomorrow. They want to be celebrities. So they want to be Lilian Muli, they want to be Jeff Koinange, they want to be who? Yvonne Okwara. You will not succeed much. Think first to be a worker. Now, being on air or being seen, that is what we can easily call a by the way. For example, there are many things those people are able to do, or they did before Jeff reaches where he is. So you can't just be like him today. So you must work hard to work. That in those newsrooms, there are people doing many things. So being on air even for anchors is, for example, being able to drive a car, or being able to type on a computer a letter. You see what I mean? So that a skill at driving enables me to do ABCD, maybe to do business, ya kuuza kuku, you see. So driving is a skill, but you see, if I don't have that acumen to do business ya kuku vizuri, just driving, will it help me? So being on air as an anchor is not the ultimate, is not good enough. And if you go to a media house, you want to be an anchor, they'll look at you and laugh. So what I mean is, are you good at, even in graphics? Because there are people who are good in graphics but can still go present. So you can be very good in producing. There's a lot of production work, donkey work that happens before you see that news at 9. So are you willing, are you going to show your skill that you can do ABCD before you start wanting to be like Joe Ageo, Linus Kaiki on air, the showbiz part of it. So don't aim so much, don't die to just be on air. Sell yourself as a worker. Sell yourself as very good in scripting. Sell yourself as having networks to bring stories to the station. If some people are on air, they've gone there just because people have noticed, hey, Michael in a car corner is photogenic and it's good at presenting. Ebutu mweke. So you'll find yourself there even by not yourself really dying, yearning, and showing everybody, I want to be on air, I want to be on air. You'll end up there, but show that you can work, you can do other things. Can I surprise you? There are people who ended up on air as anchors or news readers, and they began by camera work like Eric. So there are other things. So yearn to do those things, and then being on air is another. It's just a by the way. It's not the ultimate. I'm saying this because all the talks, wherever we go, we notice that everyone wants to be on air, wants to be a celebrity, and forget that there is a lot of work that happens behind the scenes. So I wanted to begin there. I know the topic is international storytelling, okay. Yeah, so while I'm building up to us that, I share a lot that is relevant to that. And for me, the topic, if I were to twist, is going international. So yes, it's international storytelling, but this is now what we call going international. Now you just can't go international. You won't wake up one day and say, I want to go international. So there is now what we call building yourself and building your career. And it begins from here and what you're able to do now. So many of us forget that you have opportunities even where you are now. You can publish yourself. You are on Twitter, is it? You are on Facebook. You can, I think you have LinkedIn, is it? The days when we were working with CVs in brown envelopes are gone. Your CV is now, you can peddle your CV easily. Mpaka even sahi mtu Canada ione, LinkedIn, wherever. And your CV is not just your academic papers and so on. It's what you're able to do online and people are able to see. So there are people I've advised and young men who have told, do something for yourself. Like for now, if anyone can give you Wi-Fi or data bundles, that person has given you a very good thing that you can use that even when you're in your house to do something for yourself and market yourself. So there's a gentleman who I advised and started storytelling on Facebook, recording himself kwa Kiswahili na naweka 2-3 minutes in the villages, you know. And he was called by a TV station. You see, someone in that station noticed and was able to say, I mean, there is a talent here. So you can start going international from the village where you are before you find yourself in New York, because you have the tools, you have the platforms, unlike our days when we didn't have smartphones, when there was no WhatsApp, when there was no Twitter, no Facebook, you know. I remember reporting from Lodwa in 1997. I'm in a booth, and I don't know if you know them. Tulikuwa naika coins, so lazima utafute coins, unaweka ingia, I think, then unazungusha. Yeah, so that I'm recorded by KBC from Lodwa on phone, and there are people queuing. You see, right now, by the way, you can send a story to KTN via your phone, is it? But now in Lodwa at that time, you can imagine, kuna mlolongo ya watu. And they don't, I'm a reporter, yes, but kwani niwafukuze, tokeni nataka kupeana habari. So I'm queuing. So mpaka maybe kuna watu 10. Ndio ni ring, ni rekodiwe Nairobi KBC radio. That's 1997. I was covering the general election. So nakumbuka hiyo election, I think Suleiman and Susan, no? Maybe Justus, no? Yeah, the Moi days. So you see what I mean? I'm connecting with going international. But right now, Justus is able to do stuff for us and is communicating with a client in Canada. In fact, there's a software of editing where the client is in Canada and the client can even use something. It's called what? And edit, pick, cut and paste. Yeah, and then Justus is able to send the clip, it's reviewed back within maybe an hour, something is edited, and it may be airing in Canada or airing internationally. So that's what I mean, that we began with rudimentary technology, but you have so much advantage, so don't complain. You have so much advantage that you can do something. Now, storytelling and going international, it's in line with the topic. So there's a gentleman called Thomas Bwire. He lives in Ayani, Kibera. He really wanted attachment at KTN. I was there those days. But hakupata, haikuwa rahisi. Now by then, it's not easy nowadays, is it? Because I think either the field is flooded or I don't know. But those days, it was a bit easier. But hakupata, he was a bit disillusioned, but I told him no. Don't necessarily look for big things. You know, to succeed in life is not just about big things. Have you ever realized? Yeah. Someone may have a Range Rover, yes, fine, but another one has a tuk-tuk, but it doesn't mean the Range Rover guy is doing better than the guy of tuk-tuk. But I'm not saying you don't own a Range Rover, own it. Yeah, so I told him, that uko Kibera unaishi Ayani, aren't there even things you can do so that you don't die at ungekuwa KTN? So he listened to me. So there was a small radio station in Kibera. Sijui inaitwaje, Umoja? Pamoja, I think, yes. Yeah. So I told him, enda huko hata, just knock, say, start doing stuff for them. And there are stories in Kibera. The way everyone wants the big stories, Sagana 3 what? Yeah, Gashuri Sagana 3. But in your own small capacity, huko Kibera, you can do storytelling like Trace, is it? Yeah, so and you are satisfied that while Gashuri is Uhuru Sagana, but in Ayani Kibera, there are stories and I can be satisfied. I've done a story, I've told a story, and gone on a radio called Pamoja, whose radius, the frequency is just within Kibera. But isn't it something? So that it's small, yes. So, but I told him, you can go international. Many NGOs, many people would want to support things that are happening in, we call them disadvantaged areas, like informal settlements are disadvantaged. What's the right term? There's a term we use, that you start telling stories there, and it's easy. You can even just tell a story of a young guy who survives on selling chapati and maybe is educating his siblings. That's a story, and it's an inspiring story. So inspiring stories are not like just mine. Alex Chamwada is saying his, and Joseph ameelezea story yake ya Liverpool. But it's inspiring that a guy is just managing by selling chapati and educating his siblings. So he started doing stories in Kibera. Then I advised him, you can use this now to write proposals, contact NGOs to support you, seek even training opportunities, say what you're able to do with Reuters, wherever. Before he realized, he's in South Africa, taken there by Reuters for training. Before he realized, he was at CNN. I read its updates on Facebook. I think he's in Nigeria or something. The guy started by telling stories in Kibera on a small station, Pamoja. He went international. Hayuko hapa, but mpigieni makofi. So, go look for him on Facebook. Thomas Bwire. He's very active on Facebook. Tell him I even nilimsengenya hapa. And ask for some tips from him. Write that name down. Thomas Bwire. Thomas Bwire. He'll tell you. So what I'm encouraging you is to seize the opportunity, be your own boss, that wherever you are, whether you are disadvantaged, fisi imekusumbua hapa, hata hujalipa, hujui utafanya exam ama utafanya, you have some power in your hands and you can turn around your life. You know, this Thomas, kuna mtu mkubwa alimshika mkono, except my advice. Hakuna, but he used his skills and what is within his environment to go international, and he's telling stories internationally. And telling stories internationally, as I said, you have many platforms. You know, there are people who even are able to just begin a YouTube channel, and you're international. There's a group of students, Nairobi University, who began a YouTube channel, I can't remember what it is, to just tell stories about technology. They are now getting sponsorship from technology-related companies. And you see, you can now get even people to support you to do content and go international. Well, it's not for everybody. I can't say then all of you, if you started YouTube channel, then you'll thrive, you'll be getting sponsors. It just, everyone have their day and their ability. And again, your skill, your talent. If 5 of us started the same thing, maybe one will get sponsorship, the rest won't. So I'm not saying then you'll start, and then after a year, you're like, oh, Alex, say it's just easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah. Then you have to know your niche. That if I succeeded in an area as Alex Chamwada, maybe that's not your area. But there is another area you may not be seeing. You know, all of us want the same door that you think, yeah, that's the door, but you don't know, maybe there could be a small window somewhere that is yours, and you are not taking advantage of it.